Alright, welcome to this tutorial. My name is Mr. Wiltz, and I'm going to walk you through in this tutorial how to access your portfolio, your electronic portfolio, which is essentially a Google website that your teacher has created for you and that we have ownership of and have shared with you. We're actually co-owners. So let's just start from the beginning. The first thing you'll need to do, and of course this is a tutorial where you want to follow along, pause as you're watching so that you can keep up with this. So please don't just watch this. So as you see what I'm doing, please also follow along and do what I'm doing, putting in your information. So at the end of this, you should have, with this tutorial, your website open and, of course, the home page updated. So let's get started. First thing, go to the best way to access your Google account, and this may be for some of you this may be just a review, but if you've already do this, so best way to do it is to go to www.usd253.net. Please always use Google Chrome. Do not use Internet Explorer. As I said, this is a Google website, so it works perfectly with Google Chrome because they're made by the same company. So don't use Internet Explorer. Always, always, always use Google Chrome. So go to www.usd253.net, hit enter, and that'll take you to this web page. It's actually part of our district. Link to your Google account, and so you'll click on where it says log in your USD253 Gmail, so click on that. And then you should get a window that looks like this. I would bookmark this because you'll use this a lot depending on what class you're in, some more than others, but I would bookmark this. And of course, the best way to do that, to bookmark, just come up here and you can click and just drag this down to here and then give it a name like Google Login or something like that. So I already have it as a bookmark. So here you will place in your student number. So whatever your student number is, place your student number there. That's all you'll do. And down here you will place in, so don't use this number, place in your number. If you're not sure, look at your schedule, should be on there. Down here on password, if you've not ever logged in before, try USD253. Of course, it's not going to show that, but again, that's USD, Unified School District 253. If you have logged in before, chances are you've already changed that password. You should. I wouldn't really leave it at USD253. So I would try whatever passwords you've used in the past. So I'm going to go ahead, obviously, and log into mine. So go ahead and log into yours. Now, it will always open up into your mail, okay, which this is, you should hopefully, maybe you've been using this, maybe you haven't, but that's a good way to email your instructors because we all have Google accounts. So it's a good way to do that. So this is your mail. Now Google just recently changed, and they could change this tomorrow. I have no control over that. So right now, to access other parts of your Google account, you want to come up here and you'll see this little tile area where you can access your apps, and you'll click on that. And of course, here's your mail. That's what we're in now. Here's your calendar, which is nice for some of you to get organized. You can put in calendar events, and it will email you and remind you. I even have mine linked to my phone. So again, over here, then here's where Drive is. This works just like a thumb drive, so that if you want to put files on there and then access them at home, that's a great thing about these Google accounts is not only can you use them at school, but you can use them anywhere you have internet access. Of course, what we want to do is come over here to Sites, because this is where we've made your website. So I'm going to click on Sites, and so you do the same thing. Now, of course, I've made hundreds at this point of websites because I'm the one that makes them for all my students, including yourself, unless you're in Ms. Schwinn's class or she's made yours. So up here, yours will probably there'll just be one showing here. I have hundreds, so I'm going to have to search for mine, and so I've just made one under my name. And so it says Corey Wiltz, eCommunication, ePortfolio. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then this is what yours should look like. I've not done anything to mine. I just made this so that it would look just like yours. When we make these for you, we use a template. That's why it has this generic. That's why everybody has the same little welcome photo. It has this information down here. Everybody's looks the same at the beginning. So we want to go ahead and learn how to edit this material, this home page. So to do that, up at the top, you'll have an edit page, this little pencil icon, and you'll click on that. And then down here, now you'll notice that you have a little icon, so I can click on this picture and I can delete it, because we will replace that later on with your own custom photo and text information, which I'll cover that in a different video. But let's go for now, let's go ahead and click on this picture and delete it. Let's click on this YouTube video and remove it. Basically, I want to remove anything that has white boxes on it at this point. So I click on this Google gadget, delete it, delete that one, come down here to this AdSense, and delete that one. So now I've really cleaned this up. I want to leave these these title areas here, because I'm going to customize and use those areas to put in information about myself. The whole point of this portfolio is to represent yourself professionally, so that, let's say you decide, hey, I really like the field of communication, and a lot of times, instead of just having a written resume, when you go to college, whether it be for maybe winning a scholarship, or maybe you go out into the real world and you want to show some work that you've done, photography or whatever, they want to see work that you've done, and so this represents you professionally. So please don't view this as your own personal website. If you want your own personal website, you can go make one. That's what things like MySpace and things like that are for, Facebook or whatever. But really, this is just to represent you professionally. So everything that we do on here, you should always be thinking, this is not just representing me now as a high school student. This would represent me, say, if I want to use this in years to come. So sometimes that's hard for high school students to visualize, a few years from now using this, but you could. So please do things professionally. When you take photos and you put them on here, just always be thinking of, would this be something that I want to show and have people see years down the road. So that being said, let's change some of these things. This one that says your introduction, let's change that to about me. And down here, what I would like you to do is to place in at least 5 bullets, something about me. So, for instance, for me, some information about me. I have, if I can type, I have taught at EHS for, let me put since 1999. Another one is, I have 2 children named Brooklyn and Bailey. I graduated from Pittsburgh State in 1999 with a BS in education. So Bachelor's of Science in Education, and I graduated from Emporia State with a master's degree in administration. And maybe as a 5th one, I enjoy the outdoors, hunting, fishing, and cycling. Oh. All right. So again, there's at least put in 5 things. Again, it should be a wide variety. Don't just put, don't put nonsense things like I like the color red, which I do. But again, put things in there that tells us a little bit about yourself, maybe your family, interests that you have. Obviously, yes, you've not graduated from from colleges, but at this point, but you can at least put in things that give us a good, wide variety of information about yourself. Okay, so go ahead and finish that. Go ahead and put some punctuation in here. Again, remember this represents you professionally, so spelling does matter. And up here where it says visit the developer, what we're going to do is on this we're going to put portfolio purpose. And I'm going to edit this first one. And actually I want to look at another one here real quick just to see what we have placed in there. So give me just a moment. And the purpose of the portfolio obviously is to showcase your work, and so we're going to write something like that, but everybody in that place is just going to have the same information. And so what I'm going to do, we kind of have one that's already completed here using Charlie Spartan. And so again, you have portfolio purpose. You can see Charlie's, his about me is already completed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste that information into there, and I'll give you time to be able to type in what I have, and then this will all be deleted. So there we go. So here's what I'll have you do. So in this area where it says portfolio purpose, type that in, and then down here just type in exactly what you see on my screen. The purpose of this site is to showcase works created in the Emporia High School e-communication pathway. And then underneath that, the next bullet will say a page will be created for each course within the pathway. So go ahead and type that. And again, make sure you have your About Me section completed. Make sure that you've deleted this picture, that you've deleted all these other white things that were in there that were just part of the template that we don't need, that we won't use at this point. So go ahead and complete that. The next phase, so pause if you need time to do that, pause the video if you need time to do that and complete that. Then the next part that we're going to do is to learn how to create, we need to make a page for the class that you're in. So to do that, first off, after you have everything done here, I'm going to click Save. And then the next thing I'm going to do is go to More, and I'm going to click on Edit Site Layout. And then I'm going to come up here in this area, and then I'm going to click on that. And that will bring up this navigation window. I'm going to click on Change the Banner. I'm going to highlight that and get rid of that. Okay, and then I'm going to click OK. And then you'll notice now that got rid of, that changed the banner, and now it just says Home and Sitemap, and then I'm going to click Close. Next thing then I want to do now, and you always have Home and Sitemap, next thing I want to do is click on New Page. This will give us a new sub-page, and you'll want a new page basically for every class that you're in. And some students around you, you know, have maybe already taken a e-communication class, so they've already done this. So we don't do one of these for each class, but we make a new page for each class. So they may just need to make a new page. So I'm going to click on New Page, and I'm going to type the name of the class that you are in. So if you're in digital photography, I'm going to type that out. Digital photography, capital D, capital P. Down here, this is real critical. So again, make sure that you notice down here, I want this to check this radio button right here that says put page under home. Okay, so again, put the name of the class you're in, put page under home, and then click create. That'll take just a little bit for it to create a new page. You'll see here's my new page. I'm going to go ahead, you know, and here's where I'd start to add, you know, photos, which I'll come back to. But so for now, just go ahead and click Save. And so now I'm going to click on the home page, and this will take me back to my home page. Now you'll notice up here, now I have digital photography down here as a sub-page down here, but what I'd really like for it to be is also up here. And so all I do is I go back to More, go back to Edit Site Layout. I come back, I click in this area again, and I say I want to add a page into that navigation area. So I click Add Page, and then I'm going to come down to where it says Home, and there's a little plus sign. I'm going to click on that plus sign, click on Digital Photography, and then click OK. And then so now it says Digital Photography right there. I'm going to click OK. And you'll notice now it says Digital Photography down here, or up here at the navigation bar. So now I click Close. And so now I'm good. So at this point I can click on Digital Photography. And then here would be my information. If I want to edit this, again, I have to click on. Right now I'm kind of in the view area, view mode. And so if I want to edit this, add photos, I would click on Edit Page. Click in here, and I can type whatever I want. And so I can, to edit, last thing I'm just going to cover here is just real quickly how to insert a photo. You just go to Insert, and then in here, the best way to do that is to already have you can have the photo in your drive. So when you have the photo that you like, drag it over into your drive, and then I can say Insert, Drive, and then click on Image. And then it's going to open your drive, and it's going to look for any photos that you have in your drive, your Google Drive, that is. And so I can say, hey, I like this photo. I'm going to add that. Click Select. It's going to become really large, which is fine. We want it to be the full resolution. I'm going to click on it, and then click on Size Large, and that will shrink it down to a more respectable kind of thumbnail, if you will. And then underneath that, I can click after that, click underneath this and give this, information such as, what the purpose of this photo was, maybe what the technical information was. This, if like I said, this is for a digital photography class, we obviously like you to have in what your ISO is, what your aperture, what your shutter speed, all that information, and then of course name what this photo, the assignment was for. So, and then you just click Save. And there we go. So just like that, you've edited your home page. Should look like that. You should have a digital photography page. You don't have to have a picture in here, but you should know that later on when you need to put a photo back in, you can come back to this video and see how that is done. But at this point, you'd want to show your instructor that you have this done so they can give you points for completing this. So with that being said, thank you for following along, and we'll see you on the next video.